So today we have got a new peace proposal from Iran, but that is for a war that America is claiming is already over, kind of. Either way, markets are accepting this as positive news. We've got the S&P breaking out to brand new all-time highs in today's trading session. Look at that, $7,270. And we do have Bitcoin and the broader crypto market following suit. Bitcoin up to $78,671 at the time of recording. And that is up on yesterday's lows to right now about 5%, to the peak just over 5% that we put in earlier today. The news that the markets are reacting to is this. We got it reported across multiple sources right now. We'll start with my least favorite. Iran has sent a fresh peace proposal to mediators, sources say. Meanwhile, US gas prices have surged to their highest since July 2022. Also reported by Al Jazeera, Israel intensifies Lebanon attacks, but Iran sends a new peace proposal. We know that Israel's attacks on Lebanon were a key matter of contention in peace talks earlier in the war, and reported here as well by Sky News. Iran war day 63. Tehran sends a new peace proposal to US via Pakistani officials who are the mediators in negotiations. Iran has sent a new proposal for negotiations with the US to Pakistani mediators, according to a state news agency. Trump's administration is arguing that the war in Iran is already over because of a ceasefire which began in early April. Now, what they're talking about here is Trump not arguing with Iran, but arguing with Congress. If I just scroll down here, and they're saying hostilities terminated. Donald Trump was facing a deadline today to end the war, or to make the ceasefire to Congress, make the case, to Congress for extending it. But a senior official said the ceasefire has terminated hostilities. So obviously there we're arguing about the technicalities of whether the war is over or not over, at least in as far as how Congress takes that in terms of whether they can actually continue this if they want to. It's been a grind, and as we know, we're in this situation right now where the war isn't technically over, right? Technically it's a ceasefire, but things aren't done yet. But this news of a new proposal from Iran is being taken on by the market as a bullish fundamental, because it is, it's in as much as we can hope for right now. What I will say is this is more that situation where the first little bit of sunshine poking through the clouds seems great because you're in a thunderstorm, but on a regular day, that wouldn't be considered necessarily such a bullish piece of news. It's because the talks have stalled for so long, right? We're on day 63 of the conflict now. Either way, market is taking this as good news. When you see a move like this in the S&P, you see Bitcoin following suit, you see liquidations of the short positions that were jumping in on the bandwagon, as people love to do time and again. I feel like a stuck record saying this, but honestly, it gives you an edge, right? And by a stuck record saying this, what I mean is everyone just sees the red candles like yesterday, where I've drawn my ugly arrow in here, and they jump in on short positions, which are by definition leveraged, meaning they're trading with money that they don't have. And when the market goes against them, as it tends to, okay, this was a key structural area of the market, $76,000. We knew that bullish-ish catalysts coming in, at least the market would expect them as bullish catalysts. And we bounced from there. The market goes against those short positions, they become liquidated, and that means, by very definition, when a short position is liquidated, the exchange goes and buys Bitcoin in order to cover those shorts. It means forced buying onto the market, which sucks supply out of the market, and when supply goes down and demand stays constant, prices go up, apparently. That is basic supply and demand dynamics for you. Don't take my word for it. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the data. Look at this, $200 million worth of short positions liquidated out of the market over the last 24 hours. Most of that coming from Bitcoin. This is exactly what we spoke about yesterday. But the opposite danger persists, right? There's now much more longs in the market than shorts. Again, you shouldn't necessarily be concerned with the fact that it's the same rhetoric, because it means that it's still working. Okay, I'm still in my leverage long position here that I showed you for example purposes. We are nearly at $400 in unrealized gains on this remaining portion of the trade. But this is only a tiny portion of the overall trade that I got into, down at $65,500, right at the bottom of the range when everybody was getting dismal and everybody was shorting, and we rode that all the way up here as we started liquidating these shorts that were put in on the way down, similar to what happened today, but different time frame, if you will. We rode it all the way up there, and now I'm staying in the remainder of this as we've actually come to build value above the former high here at 76,000. And the next area of interest to the upside are going to be these highs, and I'm going to watch and see what's happened because I've taken so much profit out of this trade already. It's basically a free bet. And where I am right now, yeah, I'm probably more interested in a turnaround of this, but let me tell you what my hunch is saying is going to happen. We will see an end to the war in Iran. We will see an explosive rally after that, but much of the market is going to jump in leverage long. You're going to see a lot of the ETFs longing, right? There's a lot of inflows into the ETFs. Everyone's going to get really excited, and then the reality of the situation is going to hit home that, yeah, okay, oil is still pretty damn expensive. Inflation still seems to be sticky. Monetary policy still seems to be pretty tight, and at least for Bitcoin, I think we're going to see an eventual crash from that end of war rally. But of course, that does, that relies on quite a few extensions of me looking into the future and guessing, quite frankly. That's either going to happen, or we're going to see a regression in discussions in Iran or something on the Strait of Hormuz, and we will see the inevitable unwinding of this layer of long-side liquidation risk in the market, which you can see is very persistent. If we zoom out the time frame to 30 days, yeah, look at that. So you're looking at similar price extensions, $13+ billion worth of long-side liquidation risk versus about $5 billion worth of short-side liquidation risk in the market. Read that as most of the market is leveraged long. Why wouldn't they be, right? Of course, the S&P is at new all-time highs, and there's fresh peace talks with a war in Iran that didn't exist a couple of months ago. But there you go. People are very, people's memories are very short. Sentiment 43, neutral on the fear and greed index. Yeah, that's where we're at. I don't think the bear market is over, to be completely honest with you. But for right now, I'm not ready to dive out of this trade. I want to see specifically how the market interacts with these highs, and I want to see what's happening with the news, which is unfortunate. Situations like this, I don't feel like we have a huge amount of edge because everyone is reading from the same playbook, right? Everyone's just watching the news and seeing what the situation is in Iran. More peaceful, prices go up. Less peaceful, prices come down. Doop. Let's bet with leverage and get liquidated tomorrow when the direction changes. Don't want to be one of those people. That's why I've been long since 65k. But yes, I am looking to eventually wind out of this position, which, once again, it's not big. Okay, I'm just demonstrating where my head is at with the market right now. What I'm far more interested in is accumulating and investing spot Bitcoin while we are at a discount of, let's just take a look to today's prices, like 37.59% from all-time highs. I think we will come lower before we can even think about starting to attack those highs again. But as always, purely my opinion. Do consider subscribing to my channel if you enjoy hearing me yap about the markets. I do it pretty much every day. Plenty more to come. Please don't consider any of this financial advice, obviously. Catch you in the next one.